So I was telling you that there is objectivity. Okay, so three words are there. Yes, independence. You should be independent. You should be unbiased. Unbiased means you should not favor any person at any cost.
Yes.
And you should be undue. You should not be influenced by someone. So it means undue influence should not be there. Okay, unbiased should be, undue influence should not be there, and you should be independent. Okay, so three words are here. Whenever you have to write about the objectivity, you will write these. I will tell you how to write at the end. Okay, integrity, objectivity, professional competence, and due care. Professional competence has two things: your education and your experience. So your education, you should be ACCA qualified, and your experience should be at least of 3 years. After that you will get membership. Okay, so it means you are professional competent by this way. And you should be due care, because you are professional. There could be chances or risk of errors, frauds, so you should apply your due careness. You should be skeptical.
Apply your knowledge.
Yeah, it means you should be wise. You should open your eyes. Okay, everywhere. Because you are a teacher, your mind should be skeptical. Skeptical means to look critically. Everything you will be looking. So professional competence and due care should be. It is third principle. The fourth principle is confidentiality. You should not disclose any information relating to your client to someone else. Suppose if police came and police asked you, give me information about the company, will you provide them?
Of course.
No, you will not provide information to police. Okay,
Yes.
police, no. Yes, court, yes. Okay, you will provide information to court if they will ask. You will not disclose any information to any person. But if the matter is related to the public, okay, public safety, yes, then you will disclose. What does mean? Smuggling.
The financial statement.
No. If a company is doing smuggling like that, you will inform the concerned authorities directly. Okay, then there is no principle that you have to follow. Okay, because smuggling,
Sir, again, what is the information that should be disclosed to the public?
any kind of information related to your client, related to your company, okay, you will not disclose. But if the company is involved in smuggling, then you can disclose. If the company is involved in human trafficking, you have knowledge about that. Human
Or what human what?
traffic, to sell or purchase persons, or anything like that. Okay, human beings. Yeah. If money laundering, this is important. Money laundering. Okay, examiner may ask you question from here. Money laundering is you have get the money illegal, and you can make transactions. You can invest in somewhere, like you buy property. After that you sell that, you transfer in bank, doing many transactions, and after that money looks legal. Okay, you have evidences that I have get from this, but the prime source is illegal. Okay, and you make that legal. So this is called money laundering. If your company is involved in money laundering, then you can inform directly to the concerned authorities. Okay, this topic is in P7 paper, very interesting, very important. But here I think examiner may ask, but okay, confidentiality. You will not disclose information of your company or your client to someone else. If police will ask, no. If court will ask, yes. And if it's public safety or public interest, then you will to save the public interest, yes, you can disclose these kind of information. Okay, so professionalism. This is fifth principle. Yes, professionalism is important. It means you should look professional. If how? Because if you will be ACCA, you should look decent. Okay, you should dress a good clothes like that. You can't wear okay ambiguous or any kind of so any person can look that you are not looking a professional. Okay, no one can say. You should be well dressed anywhere. Okay, they can
Mr.
yeah.
This is professionalism. It is same professional behavior.
Yes, same professional behavior. Okay, so you should look professional and you will not discredit your organization. Your profession. You will not abuse ACCA if ACCA gets will fail you or anything. Okay, you have to respect your ACCA and you have to follow laws and principles, laws and
It is
regulations.
not disgrace.
Yeah,
What is this word? Not disgrace.
yeah, discredit. Okay, discredit.
Okay.
These are the words. You have to use these words if you will write a simple English, although the meaning of that English will be the same, but examiner will not give you mark. Remember me, you have to use these words because audit is if you want to pass the audit, okay, you have to use the audit terminology. So these are, so professionalism covers two things. One, you look professional and don't discredit your profession. Second, you have to follow the laws and regulations of country. Okay, so these were principles. These are ethical principles told by IFAC to ACCA and ACCA to the students. Now we have covered first thing. We have information about ethical principles. After that, ethical threat. What are the threats? So now there are also threats. Threats to which? To what? Threats to ethical principles. This is very much important line I have written. It's looking simple, but students don't get it. So I will tell you, examiner will same student will write these two words, okay, and the other student who don't have information, they will also write this, but examiner will give them 0 marks. And if you write what I will tell you, examiner will give you full marks. Okay, after giving you concept of threats, after that I will tell you how to write it. Okay, written has also very much important for regarding examination. So threats. First threat is self-interest. Second is self-review. Third is familiarity. Fourth is intimidation.
Okay.
Fifth is yes,
Adversity.
yeah. advocacy. Okay, these are five threats to the ethical principles, not to something else. Threats to ethical principles are five: self-interest, self-review, familiarity, intimidation, and advocacy. So self-interest, you know about that. If you have financial interest, if you have any kind of interest in someone, okay, whether financial or non-financial, any kind of advantage, if you will get, if that advantage is in your mind, so it is self-interest. This is simple. Yes, self-review means you have completed the audit and you are also reviewing that. If you do work and by yourself and also review your own work, that is called self-review. If suppose I am giving you example, if you are accounts manager in a company, you made accounts, and before year end you resigned from there and you joined an audit firm, and same auditor appointed you and give you assignment to check the accounts of that company from where you resigned. So you are checking your own accounts. Okay, that is self-review. Another example, sometimes companies give audit services and assurance services. You have knowledge about that. Are two different or same? Audit and assurance.
Different.
Yeah. How? Can you tell me? Okay, I tell you. You are doing audit. It means you are completely checking from A to Z their accounts and their everything. Okay, laws and regulation, books of accounts, everything. You have to give report. Okay, audit report at the end. The purpose is that. But assurance could be compilation. Assurance could be data entry. Any kind of service you are providing, that is called assurance, except audit. Okay, audit is different. Assurance could be if client comes and they said that there is I think there is a fraud in payroll. Okay, and kindly check it. So this is assurance. If someone comes and says that we have you can say we have no knowledge about the IT. Okay, give us some services, information technology, how we have to post entries. You go there, it means.
So you mean accurate only for the service?
Yeah, only for service, for short term. Okay, so that is assurance service. If you are giving them tax related matter advices, that is assurance. And keep in knowledge that in audits you have to give reasonable assurance, but in assurance services you have to give limited or negative assurance. Okay, this relates to the topic, other topics, but I was just giving you information. Okay, if you make their data entry and you are also providing audit and assurance services, now you will do audit on this one, so it means you are reviewing your own work. Okay, there is threat. Why? Because we will put data and we are also auditing that. That's not good. Audit should be independent party should do this one. Why you are doing audit on your own work? So this is review, self-review threat. Okay, so whenever examiner will give you scenario that you are auditing and you are also providing this service, automatically there comes self-review threat.
So he provides the audit and he reviews the audit service and he reviews.
Yeah, so there will be safeguard. I will tell you how safeguard should be provided here. You can accept both this, but mostly if examiner will ask you that we have should we accept we are doing audit of ABC company, okay, and the management said that you review also the tax, you can provide tax subsidy, whether we have to accept or not, okay. Then if the student is wise, okay, the student will say that yes, we can accept, but we can separate both teams by creating Chinese wall, okay. So there are because if if some student will say that no, just we do audit or data entry, okay, he can do, but he has to justify why. Examiner is looking for justification, okay.
Okay, Mister, when you do something with the figures or disclose the financial statement, also it is a preview.
No. If because data entry and accounts management is the responsibility of company, not auditor. If we provide them some services related to data entry in the financial statements, then if we are doing also audit, so it means there is self-review threat, okay.
So that is wrong.
Yeah, that's not good. If you provide some services related to financial statement and like that, you are doing audit, it is not allowed, okay. There will be a threat. Yes, and the most important thing is the significance, okay. This is very much important. Why I have written this. Examiner will give you marks here. Why and how? So I am telling you now. If I suppose I say that there is self-interest, how? You are auditor of ABC company and ABC company, and you are also holding shares of that company. It means you have self-interest, okay. You will not disclose the information, you will not disclose the frauds, okay, because you have shares of that. If you will disclose frauds in your audit report, the share prices will go down, and you also have a major share, so your share so there is self-interest. Now you have to tell the significance. Significance means how much the value, okay, how much the value you have, you are interested in, how much value. Like if suppose if a company, if you are doing a job in a company ABC, okay, that company at part time, and you are getting $1,000, and you are auditor also at, okay, in the morning time in this company, you are doing audit of this. You have self-interest, okay, because this is a significant value. You have to tell the how much interest is there, okay. This significance means this one. So you will explain that yes, this is self-interest and the value is very significant, so auditors judgment could be influenced, okay, by this way. You are doing, you have self-interest, and that is significant. If there will be less significant, so you cannot audit this one. If it is insignificant, you are just getting suppose 100. Now it's, you can do, it's insignificant, its significance is not much, so you can provide. There is no self-interest because you are earning major from here, 5,000 suppose. I am giving you another example from self-review regarding significance, okay. Suppose there is a company, you are doing audit of that company, that you are charging $10,000 for audit, and you are also providing data entry services, that is just $100. Okay, examiner said you examiner will ask you just comment. They will not say you whether it is interest or not. So you have to tell the significance. You will say that there is self-review threat because we are doing audit, and we are also providing data entry, that is non-assurance services. Okay, the other assurance services. So there is self-review threat, but the significance of this is that we are charging 10,000 for the audit and just 100 for the data entry. That looks insignificant because this, although there is self-review threat, but due to non-significant amount, its impact could be negligible. Okay, you can say that.
Okay.
Yes, you can say. Examiner will like this one. They will give you marks on significance. So you every time, whenever you have to solve the question, you have to comment on significance. Okay. And if it is $100,000, it means it is self-review threat. You just accept only one because it's significance. You just accept audit or data entry. Sometimes there could be $20,000. You are providing them data entry services in SAP, Oracle, ERP, or any other software. So this amount is huge than audit. Then you have to accept only one. You can accept this one. You can resign from audit. Okay.
Okay.
I am teaching you this from advanced level. Why? Because at your F8 level, if you will discuss little bit, this examiner will pass you and will give you full marks. Why? He will thought that you have not advanced knowledge. Okay, you have to write 1 or 2 lines on significance, and significance make it significant or non-significant, threat or not. So this was discussion. Whenever now you will read the examiner answers, you will get this point from there. Okay, before now you have read many questions, I think, answers, but your focus was not. But now you will read and you will look, this will be written there. Significant. Okay. Okay. Now familiarity threat. It means you have close friend, you have family member in your clients or in a company to which you are going to audit. Okay, you have a familiarity with them. If there will be a fraud, you will not take action. Why? Because close family member is there, and in close family member there is mother, father, children, okay, sisters,
Okay.
but brother is not. Okay, because two brothers are not family. They are family member, but you have to discuss the significance. Suppose I'm giving you another example. There is Mr. A and Mr. B. They are brothers, but they are living separately. They are enemies of each other. Okay, they don't look to each other. Why? Because they have quarrels like that in the family matters. Here, if this is auditor and this is client, is manager there, and Mr. A going for audit. Now they have quarrels, they have fights with each other. Here the significance matters. Okay, how we can say that if although there is familiarity threat, but the intensity, the significance of the familiarity threat is very low, you can do audit. Okay, You can do.
Again.
I'm saying that Mr. A is going to audit Mr. B. Mr. B is the brother of Mr. A, but they are living separately. They don't influence each other. Okay, why? Because there is family matters, some family quarrels, family fights, little bit like that. Yes, you will write. How you will write there? Examiner will provide you just information. You have to write. You have to write that there is familiarity. Why? Because Mr. A is brother of Mr. B. But the significance of the familiarity is very low. Because B could not influence the decisions of A. In this case, A can audit the B. But if the significance or influence is much more, then A will not provide audit services. Okay, you have to write in both sides every time. Whenever you will be
Mr. But
yeah,
they are brothers.
yes,
So should have influence.
yes, you have to write in such a way that you have to discuss both things. Why? You will say that there is familiarity threat. If B influence A, there is more familiarity threat. And if B's influence is not much, then it means
They will not be
they will not.
influenced.
Okay, you have to discuss both. Examiner will be very happy with you. Why? Because in advanced level, examiner just give you hint. You have to write your own way. So every student writes their own way, and one student will get good marks and other will get fail. Why? The reason is that examiner wants more discussion, more points. So I am telling you here at F8 level that you have to write in both sides one sentence on the significance. Okay, you will say that if there is significance, if B could influence the A, there is significance of the familiarity, A will not do audit. But if B could not influence the decision, it means okay. So this was the familiarity. And now intimidation means if you are doing audit for someone, but that person is threatening you, is providing threat to you. Okay, why? Because they have not provided you fee. First of all, they have not provided you fee. You are charging suppose 1,000 and they have just provided you just 100 and said that at the end we will provide you all the fee. Now you are under threat that they will not provide you. If you will issue a audit report, they will not provide you fee. So you could be influenced. Okay, intimidation means
What mean of intimidation?
intimidation means threat to your fee, threat to your that can influence your judgment on the audit report. Okay, so suppose I am giving you example that if you are charging from your client 1,000 or 10,000, but at initial stage you just gave 10% fee, and the client said that the remaining 90% will be provided to you at the end, and at the end you find a fraud and you are going to qualify your report. They said that kindly ignore the fraud, otherwise we will not provide you fees. You are under threat now that your fee will get lost. You will accept it. You can collide with them. So intimidation means threat. This remains to
Okay, can we say intimidation means what's the client want rather than what's the right?
no. Because in audit terminology you must link it with mostly with the fee. Okay, because
Okay. Yes.
in intimidation, suppose I will provide you example from your PDF file you have sent me. There are 2 or 3 examples regarding this one that will clearly clear you. So intimidation means there is threat that your fee will be get lost at any stage due to when you will not follow the instructions of your client, and client says that we will not provide you fee. It means there is intimidation threat. Advocacy threat. The next is advocacy. You provided services related to taxation, okay, and you are also doing audit. A client or our client get notice from the court that your taxation is not calculated. There is a fraud in the taxation, and your client said you that you have to present our case in front of court because you have great knowledge about taxation. Okay, you will not do that because there is advocacy. You are not advocating your clients in front of third parties. Okay, have you get my point?
Again, can
Yeah.
explain by example.
Yeah. Okay, I'm giving you example on advocacy threat. Suppose you are auditor of ABC company. You are just providing them audit services. Taxation authority is there, government authority. They send a notice to ABC that your tax matters have fraud. Come and present us. Or ABC company said you that you are auditor, you have knowledge about our taxation because you are doing audit of our whole financial statements. So you present us before the taxation authority, we will give you fee. Assurance services, another assurance services we will provide. You have not to present your client before that party, third party. So it is advocacy threat. You are advocating your client to before the third party. You will not accept that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Here 2 threats are there. First is advocacy threat, and the second is self review. Because if you are also providing, suppose if you are providing them taxation services and audit services, and notice came and they said that you are providing us taxation services also, you have to present. Here two threats are, okay, advocacy threat
Okay.
and self review threat. If you are not providing taxation services, then just one threat. So
Okay, Mr. In this case, can be self-interest threat.
why self
Can they change
Why?
to be self-interest threat?
self-interest threat of what kind?
I mean, in this scenario, you say there is 2 threats: adversary threat and self-review threat.
Yeah. Yeah. Self-interest
Okay,
is
can
not.
they-
No. Self-interest is not. Why? Because if they are providing us a huge fee and we are looking fee of presenting, then yes. With regards to self-interest, we have interest of that fee. Then this could be. If examiner don't write about fee, there is just only 2 threats. If fee is there also, then yes.
Okay.
You can write. If no, they have not discussed, you can write it in a significance. When you will be writing about the significance of the threat, you can say that if the if huge fees is provided to the auditor, okay, then it could be, okay. Always use words like
Yes.
that. In an audit you have to write the words like could be, should be, maybe,
Yes.
maybe. You will not write shall, will, because it could be anything, okay. I am giving you,
So maybe it happen and maybe not.
yeah, again ask the question.
Yeah, I mean we say could be, should be, maybe, because the cases maybe will happen and maybe not.
Yeah, you always, it's a very much important tip to pass exams. Whenever student will write auditor shall do, it means they must do, but there is nothing like that. It could be this scenario, it could be this one, so it's a situational based, okay, that can change
Okay.
with anything. Always use words like this, and never give your confirm opinion in audit, because it's a reasonable, anything could be there, okay. So you have to use these words in audit report and everything, everywhere you have to use these words. Okay, we have got through our 5 ethical principles, 5 threats, and significance we have discussed. Now safeguards. Okay, safeguards means you have, safeguards are provided by ACCA. That whenever there is a situation, so you have to provide a safeguard. What safeguard, I will tell you later. Second is safeguards by the company. Third is safeguards by, first is by provided by ACCA, provided by company, and provided by IFAC. Okay, 3 type of safeguards are there, but at F8 level there are only, you have to follow these 2. I am not discussing here this one. Okay. First is safeguard is you can get advice. If you don't know anything about that, you can write that you have to get advice from ACCA or from third party. Okay, I will explain it with example. Second is Chinese wall. What is this? Have knowledge about that?
What do you mean, mister?
Chinese wall. What does it mean? Have you listened this word before?
No.
You can apply Chinese wall. It means 2 separate teams. How? I'm giving you example. If you are auditing ABC and company, okay, if you are doing audit of that, and you are also providing assurance services, so it means there are how many threats? First is
2.
self review, second is self interest. Why? Because fee. They are providing you $10,000, they are providing you $100,000 for this one, okay, because you are getting 2 times fee, so there is self. So why self? Because this is audit plus assurance services, two. Okay, so these two threats are there. Okay, these 2 threats to what? To this is very much important. I am giving you climax of this all topic. I am telling you how to write. You will say that ABC company auditor, suppose Mr. No, you can say XYZ company is auditing firm. XYZ auditing firm is doing audit of ABC and they get into auditing and non-insurance services. So there is a self-review threat because they are providing two services. Self-review threat to which principle? You have to link. Okay, link is very much important. Examiner will give you marks for that. If you will not write to which ethical principle, it means examiner will not provide you marks. So I am repeating again. Whenever you will write a threat, you will write threat to which principle? Self-review threat hurts which principle? Integrity, objectivity, to which one? Self-review, this one and this one, always these two. If you get blanked, you don't know what, you always write these two. I'm telling you how.
Okay.
Self-review threat to integrity and objectivity. Why? Because you are doing self-review. You are reviewing your own work. Okay, it means you are not honest. Why? Because if there is some issues here, you will not disclose that in auditing. Okay, so it means to integrity. And objectivity means no influence. Here you are influencing by one and each other. Okay, so you can say self-review threat to integrity and objectivity is same like self-interest threat to integrity. Okay, same thing is. So how you will write, I am giving you so listen carefully how you will write. If you will not write this way, examiner will not give you marks. First of all I am telling you the student who will get, suppose there is 5 marks question. I am telling you example that the student who will get 2 marks, they will write that there is a self-review threat. They will just write this one. If you will say there is self-review threat to integrity and objectivity, that will give 5 marks. Okay, you have to link threat with ethical principle.
Okay.
So again I am telling you for 5 marks you will write like this one. XYZ company is the auditor of ABC and company and also providing assurance services that is creating self-interest and self-review threat to integrity and objectivity principles. The significance of the threat could vary. If the non-assurance services are paid $10,000 and that are significant for the company, there will be a self-review threat and auditor will not provide any safeguard. So no, the company should just accept auditing or assurance services based on their profile. Okay. Now,
Mr. Last point you say?
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm explaining the significance. Okay. If assurance services are significant, if $10,000, this 10,000 is significant for the company XYZ because XYZ don't have any more clients, so this amount is significant. If this is significant for them, so this can influence the decision of XYZ. So in a self-review threat, they will not accept assurance services. Why? Because they will influence the audit. But if
this amount is insignificant because XYZ have more other client profiles, it will not influence. So in this way they can perform audit services, okay, non-assurance services also, because it's they will not influence by this one. Now the safeguard will be create a Chinese wall, two separate teams. One team should be for auditing and the other separate teams will be for the assurance services. They will not meet each other even in audit office. Totally separate teams. This is called Chinese wall. This Chinese wall. So it means you have to create two separate teams. If you are providing assurance and audit services, two type of services, yes, there is self-review threat, but you can eliminate this self-review threat by creating Chinese wall. That is a safeguard. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, by doing this one. Okay. Also, if suppose both are significant and you get blank whether which safeguard should be applied, you can say that we can take advice from ACCA or from external third party regarding this what we should do. Okay, this is also safeguard, second safeguard. So these were safeguards. I am moving towards scenarios from your PDF file. You have time, na? You have time, na? I can explain that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you have that in front of you, or I could download for you?
No. I have printing and have so,
Okay. Should I download from the profile in front of you, or you can check from your?
no.
Okay.
No, I have.
Okay. In a self-interest threat, okay, in a self-interest threat on page 1, the first example you are providing that owning shares in a company being audited through direct ownership or through family member. Okay. Here the threat is self-interest because you have on direct ownership. Okay. And through family members, it means it's familiarity threat. Two type of threats are there: familiarity threat and self-interest.
Interest.
But the significance depends, because here examiner is not providing you any financial figure. So you can say the significance of the threat in self-interest may varies. If the ownership of direct ownership in small shares, that could not influence your decision, so it means the significance of self-interest threat is low, then you can accept, yes, okay. But if it is similar, if there is a family member and that member can influence your decision, so it means the familiarity threat significance is very high. This could influence your decision.
Yes.
So you can say that in that case you will not accept, you will not do audit of that company because there is family member, your family, that can influence. If significance is not much, then yes, the company could, or you could do audit of that. Are you getting my point? How will you discuss this?
Yes.
Okay. We have to apply safeguards. In a direct ownership, there are two options. Either you will not accept the audit, or you can accept the audit, but you have to lose your direct ownership. Okay?
Okay.
You have to sell your shares. After that, yes, you can. Similarly, for the family members, yes, if your family member resign from that company, after that you can accept, or otherwise if you will not accept it. But if the significance of the threat is low, then yes, you can accept. Okay, you have to discuss all these options
Okay.
in safeguard. Okay, after that, accepting gifts and hospitality. Okay, tell me which kind of, do you think, which kind of threat is there? Self-interest.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. But suppose if you are going to audit a company that have that is manufacturing cloth. Okay. Suppose jewelry. You are going for a company to audit that is manufacturing jewelry, and you are doing audit, and they provided you a gift of
Okay.
that jewelry. So will you accept that gift or not? You are audited. It depends. Never give answer not or yes. It depends. If they are providing you the gift that is artificial jewelry, or that has no significant value, or that can that has normal traditions there, okay, that has not much value, that is insignificant, that will not influence your decision because that is of insignificant value, then you can accept.
Okay.
Then you can accept. But if that is of high value, okay, that is gold, if they are providing gold ring or diamond ring, then yes, that can influence your decision. Significance of the threat is very high. You will not accept that. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Similarly, hospitality. If you are going for audit and they are giving you lunch or dinner, and they have give you accommodation in a Pearl Continental 5-star hotel, it means that will influence your decision. You will not accept. But if they are just providing you similar meal, or they are providing to all their clients also and also to you, yes, you can accept. Okay.
Okay.
It always depends. I said that examiner is very much clever. He is just providing you just 2 words, gift or hospitality, but you have to explain by your own.
Yes.
What student said? Student said that they are accepting gift, that is self-interest threat, and safeguard will be that not to accept. Student write this one. Examiner give you 1 marks out of 5. But if you write this way,
But there is,
yeah,
but I mean, but there is cases, so we have to explain each case.
okay, yeah, you have, yeah. Now I am explaining this. Why for 5 marks I will write this. How? You will say that client is providing you gifts and hospitality. That is creating self-interest, because gift value or hospitality could influence your decision making, and that is self-interest threat to integrity and objectivity. Okay, this word is very much important. To integrity and objectivity.
Yeah.
The significance of the threat could influence the decision making. How? If the gifts and hospitality are of very great values, that will create a more significant threat, and you will not accept, you will not apply safeguard. By this way you will not accept their engagement. But if the gifts or hospitality value is very low, this could not influence the decision making, so significance of the threat, self-interest threat, will be low, and by this way you can accept these, because these are normal norms. Okay, by this way you can get 5 marks. You are explaining threat, you are explaining principle, you are explaining significance, and you are explaining safeguards also.
Yes.
I think it's clear for you.
Yes, very clear.
Okay. And the next is fee dependency. Yes, it is intimidation threat. Why? Because you are dependent on them.
for fee. Whenever you will not accept their demands, they will pose threat to you. They will say that we will not provide you fee, and by this way self-interest and intimidation threat will be created. And it also depends on the fee, amount of fee. Significance depends on the amount of fee. What kind of how much fee is there? If there is more fee, they are saying, look at the example, fee dependency. Large proportion of a fee comes from unlisted clients and more than 50% for two clients coming. Yes, for because 15% from two clients is significant. If they do not provide you fee on time, it will create intimidation threat. Okay, and self-interest you can explain. But if they are if their significance is very high, then you will collect fee at the advanced stage, in advance, most of the fee. This is safeguard. Okay, now third is accepting loans and guarantees from a client. Examiner always create a bank example from here. They say that you are going to audit a bank and you have already applied loan from there, a personal loan. So will you accept? Will you do audit for that or not? If you have already applied for a loan.
Again, Mr.
I'm saying that you have applied in a commercial bank for a loan, okay, and you are also doing audit for that bank. Will you accept the audit or not?
No.
Why? Never give not or yes answer. You can say it depends on the amount of loan. If you are just applied for a normal loan like $100, that is not significant amount, yes, you can accept the client because that will not influence. But if you have applied for heavy loans, now it will influence your decision making. Why? Because bank will say that, okay, I am providing you loan and you have to give us unqualified report, means clean report. Okay, that is creating threat. So you will not say yes or no in any ACCA, in any paper. Never ever you give your own decision. You have to discuss both. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next is having business relationship with the client. Suppose you are doing audit of ABC company and you have your own companies and you are getting spare parts from that company. Okay. By this way you can influence. If you will give a report on their matters, they will say that we will stop to giving you spare parts. You have self-interest threat, it means. Okay. By this way it also depends on significance, how much value of business you are doing with them. Okay, so it also depends. You can discuss. And the next is employment being offered at client. It's most of the time you have completed 3 years from the audit firm, practical exposure, and after that client is offering you job. That is self-interest threat also. Okay, so it depends on you. If they are providing you job also, so you have to resign from the audit firm, or you will not accept the client's offer. It depends on you significance. Okay. Threat of now the compensation received to the auditor on performance basis, cross-selling a client for a non-audit services while at audit. It means you are doing audit and other services. Okay, that could create a self-interest and self-review threat also. You can discuss. Threat of litigation by client. Client said that if you will not give you clean report, we will bring you before a court. They are intimidation you. They are giving you threat. Okay, so you will not accept the clients. Okay,
it depends on the amount of litigation and depends on the matter, what they said, what they don't say. Okay, providing accounting and taxation services. This is non-assured. This is other assurance services. So it depends on the amount. If they are providing you more amount, more fee for these services and less fee for audit, you can resign from audit and can accept this one. Okay, or if both have significant, so you will not accept assurance services. You have just do audit. Okay.
Okay.
I think you are more confident about to discuss everything. I think I have explained you in detail. Okay, next you can explain me little bit. Providing internal audit services. That is also assurance services. Okay. You are doing audit and you are doing internal audit. So it depends on the amount of fee. Okay. So you can discuss this one.
Okay.
Providing IT's valuation services. This is also the same case. Assurance services. And providing client with a merger and acquisition. This is also assurance services. Okay. Assisting clients in developing business strategies. This is also assurance services. So I think you have enough knowledge. Examiner, from wherever they will give you example, I bet you that you can write now, because I have provided you sufficient knowledge on significance. Okay, it all depends on significance. You can write.
Yes.
I think yes. Okay, repeated use of the same team members on audit that can influence and are main personnel in forming an opinion on financial statement, such as pattern leading to impairment and skepticism. This is also the same, because your self-interest. Why? Because always you send your team to that client and that is not rotating. Okay, same persons are going every year on the audit. This will create a familiarity threat and self-interest threat. Okay.
Yeah.
You can write more things on that. HR services, this is also assurance services you are providing and also audit. So it depends on the significance. Close family personal relationship, familiarity threat. And now it depends on the significance of influence of that family. If more significance, you will not accept.
Yeah.
If less significant, yes, you can accept. Or you can accept if that family member resign from client. Then after that, if it's significant, you can discuss everything. Team members on audit are approached by client to join their companies. Familiarity threat. They said that come here and join. It means you are familiar with them. So either you will resign from audit firm, then join, or if you are joining that client, you have to resign from there. So it also depends on this. Okay, representing or advocating client in a court, loan, negotiation, or in a media. Why we come in a media on the behalf of client? Okay, so you will not accept that in any case, because you are doing audit just only. Yes, if they are giving you extra money for that, then you can look on the significance of money. Then you can discuss both. Okay, now here is intimidation threat, fees dependency, litigation threats, personal relationship, या conflict of interest between clients. Suppose if you are doing audit of Coca-Cola and also doing audit of Pepsi, these two clients are competitor of each other. Now you can leak information. It means confidentiality threat is there. It will hurt the confidentiality, because two competitor are your client. You can share information of each other with. Okay, that will create a threat.
Yes.
And okay, now I think that this is covered. Okay. Yes, I can provide you opportunity that you can read scenarios and their answers from past paper, after that, if you will feel any difficulty, you can send me voice message anytime until you get past your paper. Okay, because I am charging you for this lecture, it means I'm responsible until you get pass. Okay, whenever you will get are stuck somewhere, you get you want to clarify something, some points, you can send me voice note. Okay, I'm saving your number also. You will send me. Okay, now next topic is, I think, acceptance and continuous of engagement. Okay, so this is very straightforward question. How clients come towards you? You give tender. Do you mean what do you mean by tender? TENDER.
What?
If suppose you qualified ACCA, and hope so you will do. You made your own company, audit firm, and you don't have any client. You open new office. How clients comes towards you? By what means? Someone will refer you some clients, or you will do advertisement. Can you do advertisement in newspaper or media about the audit services? Can you or not?
You mean advertisement about the audit?
Yeah. Is it allowed to give advertisement on a media that you have ABC company audit firm and come here for audit?
Maybe no. You can check.
Yeah. No, never, because it is prohibited. Okay. Have you ever seen this kind of advertisement? Never, I think. Okay.
No.
Yeah. You will not. You can. Why? Because if you are providing best services, client automatically move towards you. Okay. That is the myth behind this profession. So clients will come towards you. Suppose someone referred a client to you. Before accepting a client, what will you do? You will do a meeting with their officials. Okay. First of all, first meeting. In first meeting, you will get knowledge of that client's business, what kind of services they are providing, what are their products, what are their risks, what are their management strategies, strategic level strategies, tactical level strategies, operational strategies. Okay, what kind of website they have, and what kind of laws and regulations are applicable, whether if you accept them, is there any ethical threats? Maybe that could be a competitor of your another client. Okay, you have to look all these, and after that you will conduct a meeting with the officials of that client, second meeting, and you will get information about their risk, their strategies, their information system, their ERP systems, their ethical issues, about their directors, about each and everything. After that you will write engagement letter with them. Okay. Yeah. Now I am moving towards your draft, that PDF. Okay. Just wait 1 minute. Just wait. Okay. Just wait. I reopen that. Okay. Yes, this one. Okay. Risk of engagement is reduced
Okay, the first point is that uh, because you are going to accept the client, maybe that client could do illegal practices involving smuggling or any like that, so you will not accept that. But you have to look risk. Okay, and if they are involved little bit, but you have to get knowledge how to reduce that, whether you have to accept that or not. Okay, you will get information about risk of engagement. Engagement means you are going to accept, so your relation will be with the company, so that's why they are saying engagement. So you will look at towards the risk. Okay, after that, ethical risk. Okay, could be prevented, reduced, appropriate level. Yes, you will look at this. You will look firm capacity. Capacity means firm has the resources to do audit. Suppose if that company has installed SAP or Oracle, ERP, other accounting software, but your firm don't have intellectual capital. Intellectual capital means persons, skilled person. How can they do audit? Okay, so you have to look towards resources, your firm's resources. After that, you will accept that. If you will use the word labor or accountants, it is not appropriate. I think if you use intellectual capital, okay, it means workforce. So that examiner will be impressed by the terminology, the words. Okay, you have to use these kind of words. Okay, firm's capacity, you will look any conflict of interest. It means there could be any kind of interest, could be like you are auditing, you are going to accept the audit if you and you are taking their products also, like suppose bank, or you have applied their loans. Any kind of ethical threats could be, if there is, so you will not accept the client. Before that, you have to, before accepting that client, you must think about that. After that, you have to construct engagement letter. Engagement letter means term and conditions. Okay, so written here. Next is auditors. It means professional clearance. Yes, we are professional, we can do audit, so auditor will look towards its their own capabilities, like they have precondition of audit. This is the question. What do you mean by what is meant by the preconditions of audit? Examiner mostly examiner asks question, what are the preconditions of audit? Do you know?
What is the word? Still?
Preconditions of an audit. There are 3 preconditions of audit. Write it down. First is, the law in the audit firm should have the knowledge of laws and regulations applicable on the client. Okay, which laws and regulations are applicable. Suppose if you are going to conduct audit of suppose a bakery. Okay, bakery, it means food laws are applicable there. Okay, so you should have knowledge about that. So precondition of audit is laws and regulations. You should have knowledge of laws and regulations. Second is, you should have knowledge about the international accounting standards that are applicable on the client. Okay, third is the ethical issues. You should know about the ethical issues. And the fourth is, okay, there are 4 conditions. Ethical issues are one. Second is you should have knowledge of laws and regulations. Yes, the fourth is the management. Financial statements are the responsibility of management. Okay, you have to tell them that is your responsibility, not us. So these are 4 conditions. These should met, and after that you will accept a client. Okay, it is very much important question, very much, so you should know about it. Okay, you should be clear about the fee. Half fee should be at advanced level and a half before signing a report, okay, or in the middle. So significant amount of fee should not be left at the end. Why? Because intimidation threat could be there. Engagement risk, you should counter all the risk of the client. Maybe client get default, maybe client is involved in another laws and regulations that could cause smuggling, like that, other illegal practices. Okay, resources, you should look your own resources, human resources, other financial, non-financial resources, whether you have. Okay, professional competence, you have expertise and skills and like that. Independence and objective, you should be independent, objective. Auditor will look towards their self. Okay, client have due diligence. It means you have knowledge about client's due diligence. Due diligence means client has prospective information, information about future, whether the company will continue or not. Okay? Due diligence means look towards the future and its assets and responsibilities, liabilities. Okay, it means due diligence. Client should be due diligent. So management integrity, you have to look that the client's management is expert, qualified, or they don't have self-interest. They should be integral, means they are honest. Okay, client is not involving in money laundering, then you will accept. And client has reputation, yes, you will accept the reputed client. Okay, why? Because it will enhance your profile, and by looking that profile, many other clients will come towards you. If a client is not reputed, they are de-reputed, or they are not doing good practices, okay, you will not accept that. Why? Because you will accept and the other will say that you are accepting bad clients. Okay, so before accepting that, you should keep in mind all this. And after that, conflict of interest means all above we have got through knowledge about ethics. Okay, yeah, our direct there could be rise when audit firm audit two clients that are competitor, trade with each other, confidentiality threat. Okay, ethical threats are that. To reduce threats, yes, these are safeguards. Notify all affected clients. Whenever, if you are accepting two clients that are competitor, first of all, you will not accept. If you want to accept, yes, you can. You will tell both clients, like Pepsi and Coca-Cola, that we are auditing both of you both are competitor, but we will create Chinese wall, we will create different teams and different engagement partner for both. Yes, then you can accept. Okay, this is safeguard. Apply Chinese wall. I have told you about the two separately. Get the audit team members to sign confidentiality agreement. Yes, if you are going to accept, then you can sign confidentiality agreement from both team members, that you will not disclose any information to each other. Okay, quality control partner review. Yes, if you are doing assurance services and audit also, first of all, you will not accept. Second, it depends on significant. If significant, not accept. If not significant, then accept. Or if you are going to accept, then quality control review should be if one partner means auditor, audit from the partner that will be sign report, that should be separate from other, and quality control should be there to look the quality that they have separately worked. Okay, and this kind of, okay, review by teams, internal ethical committee, you can write this. So it means it all depends on the significant, whether to accept or not. If you are going to accept, then you have to apply safeguard, Chinese wall, or quality control or agreements with the team or Chinese wall, okay, like these kind of things.
Yes.
If conflict cannot be prevented, it means it is very significant. You can write by this way. You can copy these words. If conflict cannot prevent or reduce the risk to acceptable level, it means it's significant, then decline the engagement or resign from audit or any conflicting client. Okay, now engagement letter. These are terms and conditions. If you are going to accept client and you have decided that okay, we are going to accept the client, then you will write engagement letter. Okay, these mean terms and conditions. First of all, you will write there auditor's responsibility. Your auditor's responsibility is to conduct an audit. Okay, not to make financial statement. Just we will do conduct audit, we will do risk assessment, we will do audit procedures, we will do review, and we will. Fraud detection is not our responsibility. Fraud detection is the responsibility of management. Okay, you will clear that. Yes, and okay. I am going to discuss the whole circle diagram that is provided here. Contents. First is directors and partners signature on agreement. We will do. Okay. Objective and scope of audit. We will say that our objective is to issue you report based on our audit procedures, and scope means what kind of international accounting standards will be covered, what kind of laws and regulation we will check. Okay, all this is the scope of work. We will do interim audit or not. Okay, all these kind of audit works you will be discussing here. And limitation of audit. Limitation of audit means we will not check 100%. We will not give you absolute assurance. We will provide you reasonable assurance. It means, okay. We will be discussing that. Audit fee and its basis. Yes, we will discuss that. Audit fee will be this. We will be charging this one for at the beginning, this much proportion, during and at the middle level, and after. Before signing report, we will charge this much fees, and total fee will be this. And if partner will visit you, they will charge this one, and if junior, senior, like that, all kind of slabs we will be discussing with them here in this one. Auditor's responsibility. Yes, we will discuss that our responsibility is to conduct audit, not making financial statement. Okay, forms and consent of audit report. We will discuss that. We will be sharing this kind of report at the end. Okay. Expectation of written representation. Yes, if something will not, if some fraud will be there or like this one, we will get representation from you that okay, this is management's point of view. We will write that. We will ask them that okay, this is little bit fraud, or you have to eliminate. If management said that okay, that's good. If they said no, we will not eliminate that. So you will say that okay, write it and give us. We will include that in our audit report, and that will influence our audit decision. Okay, that is a written explanation from. Okay, involving of internal auditors, management staff. Okay, we'll discuss that our audit team will be this, and your management will help them, and the persons from your side that will communicate our audit team will be this kind of that person. Okay, this is written. Notification of unusual event. If there is unusual events, you have to notify us also, and we will also notify you and get your opinion, and by this way we can proceed through the audit. Okay, applicable auditing and
Sir,
yeah.
what do you mean by unusual events?
Unusual events means okay, you have in a standard there is standard IAS 10, International Accounting Standard, events after balance sheet date. Okay, reporting date, that is standard. There could be any event like fire could take place and that destroy the stock. Okay, or there could be any litigation case or any event that could happen after the balance sheet date. That could you have to tell us. Okay, this is unusual event. So okay. I think you have knowledge about that international accounting standards. You will be good in F7 financial reporting. Are you?
Seven?
Yeah. Are you good in financial reporting paper ACCA F7?
No, mister, this is the first paper
Oh.
for me.
Oh, you. I think the students should take F7, F8 at same time. Why? Because you are applying audit on F7. Okay, financial reporting standards.
So better to take F8 and F7 together?
Yeah, I think if I recommend any student, I will say that yes, the student should take those, because you have to apply audit procedures on F7. Okay, on international accounting standards. So if you have knowledge of accounting standard, then only you can apply that on this. So, and no worries about that. If you have knowledge, yes, you can pass. And I think the proper guidance is very much important. Whenever I teach my students, my prime focus is to get pass from paper. Okay, I also provide knowledge, but my main purpose how to write there. Okay, I same like I am telling you today that you have to write this way. Okay, now moving.
Okay, mister.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me later what is better for me to take first?
To take papers.
Paper, I mean.
Yeah, of course. So you can. Yeah, yes, of course. You can discuss with me any kind of information. Why? Because now you are student. You are my student. Why? Because I have given you time today. You are my student until you qualify ACCA. You can discuss anything regarding studies, okay, regarding job, regarding anything. You can discuss with me. Yeah, and yeah, okay. I'm going to continue. Applicable financial reporting framework. It means international accounting standards. And management responsibilities, that is important. Management is responsible to provide us access to the record. Management responsible to make financial statement, to detect fraud and errors. Management is responsible to provide appropriate resources to conduct audit. Okay, everything is responsibility of management. So our auditor's responsibility is just provide decision on the financial statement in the form of audit report. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, timely provision of data, and this one I have discussed that. Okay, director and partner signature. Okay, that is covered. So sometime examiner asks question from this one. Okay, engagement letter, what are the contents? So you just cram 5 or 6, because for 5 marks they ask you have to write 5 or 6. Okay, engagement letter objective is to set terms and conditions. So this was engagement letter, and preconditions of audit are important, and this is also very much important before accepting client or engagement, what the audit firm should think or do. Okay, these are the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 points written about. And about ethics, they will build a scenario and you have to discuss threat to which principle, the significance, and on the basis of significance you have to apply safeguards. These 4 points you will discuss along with significance, both options. Okay, this one, or if this one not, then this one. By this way examiner will give you full marks. And my students of this paper always get 60 plus marks. Why? Because I always provide them how to write. In any paper of ACCA, you must follow the examiner pattern, how examiner is writing. Okay? In any question, you have to write, you have to read their answers vigilantly, how they are writing. You have to copy that, their style. By this way, you will pass ACCA in very early, okay, than your friends. So this was. So I think this was our topic, and I will share you its video also, and you can discuss any point, anytime, okay, with me regarding the ethics, or if you do want to discuss any other professional, your own experience or your own difficulties, you can discuss with me. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.